Hello, and how's it going? Okay, so um, tonight I actually want to try to get a couple of things done. Um, I have just a couple of days, literal days, to get my very last set. Okay. I have just a couple of days to get my very last set of stuff done for my very last show of the year. I just finished, I did 3 this year, so I have done 2 previously, the last one of which was last week. And so again, I'm doing another one this Saturday, excuse me. So I actually sold out of the friend sign. I don't know if any of you have been around long enough, because last year I did these galvanized steel friends signs. So it was the word friends in cursive that I dotted. And I sold one last year at a show, and then I had a commission for 5 more, and then I sold another one. So they were pretty popular. And I ran to the store on Sunday last week to try to get some more. And I knew that the possibility was that there wasn't going to be any because I had the feeling that the store was going to be phasing them out because they were like buy one get one free essentially, and that's exactly what happened. They're gone. Everywhere I've looked online, they're gone. And I was like, well, okay, maybe I can substitute them with the wooden ones, and they didn't even have the wooden ones. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? But I did find these notebooks. Okay, now if you're clicking on this, you've seen the cover here. You've seen my thumbnail and you've seen these. But these are sketchbooks. Okay, so they're just blank sketchbooks. The cover is not like super thick, right? So these are not like extra high quality or anything. But they don't bleed through, and it has this very interesting texture. It's very, very soft, almost like a faux leather. It's very, very interesting. So I have painted so far these 2, and then I have 2 more. So I did the 4. I did each of the colors that they had. I'm going to go ahead and start with the purple because I've already picked out a palette for the purple to stay with kind of the same idea that I'm going for here, you know, using the colors of the notebooks themselves. But the pink one, I'm not super convinced yet. I think it's going to feel, wow, how do I put this? I think it's going to feel a little bright and cotton candy, which is not all that bad, but compared to the other ones, which are a little bit muted in comparison, you know. So I'm gonna go with the other one first. Okay. I'm actually not using any of my typical mediums for these tonight. Let me get these put somewhere else. I'm gonna sit them up here just above me. They don't fall off my shelf. All right, so these are just straight. So the 3 colors that I've chosen, because I do want to do a metallic, but I didn't necessarily want to run the same metallic through all 4 of them. So this is the color palette that I've chosen. So I've got the Cherry Merlot, Gentle Heather, and then the Berry for the nice sparkle on it. Okay, so yeah, a very, very limited palette. It is just the 3 colors, but I think so far it's working out pretty darn well. And I have also a very small set of tools. I only have 5, Jesus, throw it at myself. I only have 5 of my tools, my Happy Dotting Company tools over here. And then the swoosh tool. which for me is actually just the little nail stylus, the smallest one, the 0.5. So that's that. Super limited, super quick. This is one of my favorite and very, very simple patterns. Just one that I thought I could quickly knock out that would be not like extra plain. I don't know. I know what I'm trying to say, but it doesn't sound right when I say it like that. It sounds like it's boring. But here we are. It's not boring. Okay. Let's get my towel set up here. Okay. All right. Adjusting my headset sound settings here real quick just to make sure that it's not going to be too loud or too soft for me. Set this here. Let's go. I'm ready. I already love that color. Cherry Merlot has honestly become one of my favorites. I don't think as of yet I've found enough stuff to paint with it, but this particular design I think I've pretty well got memorized. But I did go ahead and put in the lines, a little bit of a grid here, just to make 100% sure that the center is going to be consistent between all of them. You know, that they're all, because this is an 8-inch notebook. You know, so the center is going to start out at the 4-inch mark for each of them. And then, for example, the swooshes here that I'm doing, if I'm not careful, I may actually make them a little bit longer or a little bit shorter in between each of them, since I'm not doing them in tandem like I normally do, since I'm doing them all in different colors. So that was another reason I did want to make sure that all of those are the same length. And essentially, as you can see here, I've just got those 2 lines just to sort of guide that across. Nothing major. And I did this very, very light and just a charcoal white pencil so that I can erase it out. Because this, like I said, it's that like a suede cover almost. And once you start erasing, I have my very, very soft eraser here. And you can even tell, you can see some of the color that was picked up when I erased off of the original, the teal colored one. You have to be so super gentle, or else it does seem to fade the color a little bit, or maybe just mess with that texture. So just sort of got to be careful about that. Let's see. I'm going to double check here, because the only thing was that I made an adjustment of like half a size to just one of the elements. And I want to make sure that I got that correct. Well, so far so good. Zooming right along. That's exactly what I needed to happen. Oops, let's see. That felt a little loose as far as the paint there, so I'm gonna wipe my tool off and try that again. Okay. With this one, I could almost just join these and do a heart instead. Oops, why is that one so much higher than the other ones too? Okay. Yeah, once you have this stuff down, it is really fun to just zoom through. It seems to always take me about an hour and a half, maybe sometimes 2 hours to get pretty much anything done. Um, you know, and a lot of that I think is because I do a lot of debating with myself and I'm like, oh, do I like this? Do I like that? What do I want to do? And then I just end up being really slow no matter what it is that I end up choosing. And I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing because I do a lot of the dot art just to hang out and relax, and it's a fun, enjoyable hobby, right? Um, I can sit and hang out, listen to music, listen to a podcast, a book, like an audiobook, sort of watch TV or, listen to TV in the background, hang out with my family, do all these things while I'm painting. So that mentality kind of stuck with me. And I never really got into the habit of seeing my art as more on the business side of things and having this urgency about it. But I don't know if any of you have seen this show. I watch it on Amazon Prime. From the BBC is Make It at Market. And I think it has 3 or 4 seasons now. And I really enjoyed watching that. And one of the very first things that they do in every single episode is I'll explain the little kind of premise of it a little bit. But they have people that come in that are craftsmen in some way, shape, or form. And they help them get their business up and running, right? And they always have these like 3 challenges. And the first one is always making something quickly that you can sell for a profit. And this year, since this was the year that I really wanted to sit down and do the shows, do the craft fairs, and really make it more of just a hobby, and I decided that I don't want to get too far into the business aspect of it, but I want to make some money off of it, And so circling back to this point, I realized that I can't just make 9,000 different products, different things, and I cannot have 9,000 different patterns, designs, right? It's just completely unproductive. So that's another reason why I'm deciding just to stick with one. Try different things, see what works, but really try to narrow my focus. And that's why I was extra disappointed when I went to the store and found that they did not have those signs that I was painting that I was having all that success with. So it's like, dang, go figure. Oh, what a bummer, right? But it is what it is. And maybe what I'm doing right now will be my next thing, right? So here's hoping. let's get into another row here. It's nice really just to drop into the flow, know exactly what I'm doing. Not have to think about, oh, wait a second. What color or what size was next? Whoops. That was a little too far over. one thing that I never used to have to worry about was if the center of my piece was going to be dry by the time I finished so that I could do my top dots. I laugh about it now because, everything would honestly always be dry because I was just so slow. And again, not a bad thing. But now I'm catching myself have to wait to do things. There's only one more dot that I need to make on this to make this one complete, but I can't do it because it is wet. So I'm going to put this one aside until I can, and then I'm going to start working on my pink one. Let's see. Let me get my drink out of the way. I'm going to move that one. Okay. For this one, so I had picked these 3 colors. I hope that's gonna work. And I hesitate and stuff because originally what I wanted to do was use this rose gold in place of the white, because I wanted each of them to have a different metallic, and I just, I don't know. I'm leaning towards this one, a little one still, because I don't want it to look too kitsch, right? The white brings a pretty contrast to it with these. I think I'm going to try this. I think I'm just going to swallow it and do this. One thing I did want to double check though is because when I did this, I realized that I skipped my second line. I actually did the wrong line. It's not that big of a deal. It's just, I'm going to save myself sanity here. Okay. Just drop that in. All right, let's get some paint. Oh, that's bright pink. Oh, that's bright pink. And the only other thing that I can say is I hope to goodness that if I actually sell these, if these are popular, that I'm actually going to have a chance to go buy more. We'll see. All right, let's flip my rag around here so I don't stick my fingers in paint of any kind. Let's go into my 8. I'm going to scoot in a little bit here. All right, let's see. It's going pretty quickly. I didn't think I was actually going to get through this much so quickly. Happy about that, but yeah. Oops. Haven't decided how exactly I feel about the rose gold yet, but I'm glad I didn't go with the silver. Or the white pearl, I guess I should say. Did choose the white pearl, not the silver. But I still think that was a better choice. I think the white just would have been too much. A little too bright for what I was going for. Oops. That was a little bit off. Oh my gosh. It's okay. Not even going to notice in a minute. And I don't even have any wine secretly in my water bottle or something to make an excuse for that. Okay. The thing is, like on the tip of that 3, and of course the 3 tool is the one that I'm using so much on this pattern. Hold on, I gotta try to get that off. It's like a little bit of dried paint. There we go. Okay. I think I got it all off. Okay. Yeah, I usually clean my tools a lot more often, but we're okay. I just got to give them a good soak. I think I did that last time around Christmas. So yeah, it's been a minute. Christmas last year, wow. But realistically, Christmas is just around the corner. Maybe after my show on Saturday, that'll be my break. I don't know how much painting I'll actually do until after the new year beyond that. Last year and the year before, the only thing that I honestly did during that time frame was mid-December. I did my paint along. So maybe I could just come up with a good paint along and just keep up that tradition this year. And during that downtime, give my tools a good cleaning, and you know, it's like my winter clean instead of the spring clean. Kind of get everything together after the shows are all done, get everything sort of packed away, take stock of what I've got, you know, get everything ready for my taxes. Gosh. Yeah, that'll be a good time to reset. Yeah, I don't think my tools have ever looked that dirty before. I only have, what time is it right now? 35 after. I have maybe 10 minutes before I gotta skedaddle. I don't know that I'm gonna finish this one. At least not on stream anyways. Let's see how much I can get done in 10 minutes. I only have one layer of top dots to do on the purple that I had finished. So I can definitely at least get that done. Let's see on this one. Wow, actually I've still got quite a bit to do on this one, come to think about it. So I've got another row of swooshes on either side of these ones, and then I've got the complete second or third row. So yeah, that's more than I thought I had to do. Oops. Okay. like I said, we'll just see what I can get done. And it is what it is. I'll get it finished tonight, no matter what. Just not with you guys, sorry. I really was hoping things were going, I think, faster maybe in the beginning. Get my little button gear here. I don't want to screw anything up, but yep. I'm just not going to have a bunch of time. I am working my normal day job tomorrow. I do have a half a day on Friday to prepare for the show on Saturday, but it's Halloween, so tomorrow I have time after work to get stuff done, and then that's basically it. I'll have a little bit of time on Friday after my work shift, and you know, before my child wants to start hitting houses for Halloween. So this is all cutting it very close. And I say that not just because of this, because like I said, I had sold out of my friend signs, and that was my goal, was to get 2 or 3 of those perhaps done before my show on Friday, to replace them. And so these ended up being the replacement for it. But I also have a whole bunch of the ornaments. I don't know if anyone remembers, but last year I had purchased a bunch of the coffee mug wooden ornaments from the Dollar Tree, and I did a bunch of those, and I sold a bunch of those. I only have a couple left. And so I was gonna do those too, because I sold quite a number of the wooden ornaments, those ones, and the clear acrylic ones that I did. Unfortunately, the ornaments that I did with the flowers on them, the more kind of spring ones, didn't go over well. That's okay. I'm not really upset about that. It was just kind of a test run. But I'm just not going to have time to do any more of those ornaments to replace the ones that I had sold. So, whoops. So that's why I was really hoping to at least just get this done tonight as quickly as possible. So I have 5 minutes. Let's see. I need the dark here. The issue is, so I've got to get dinner. I usually do streaming nowadays on Tuesdays and Thursdays, because Tuesdays and or Thursdays, because my husband takes my daughter to class those nights. So I have, you know, a little bit of time while they're out to get some painting done. Because otherwise, if I don't do that and I'm catching up with dinner and such, I don't have time to do anything else until after 9:30, 10 o'clock, 10:30, after my daughter goes to bed, and everybody's winding down. And by that point in the day now, you know, already working an 8-hour day, putting in a shift, and then trying to do this stuff, your brain is toast, honest. half the time, you know, it as enjoyable as it is, this is hard on my back. It's hard to kind of lean over. I know I'm not in the right position when I sit. And it's very difficult on my eyes. You know, you're staring in one spot for an hour to 2 hours and very bright lights and staring into this stuff. And it's very difficult. So, you know, like I said, after an 8-hour day of work and everything else that life has in store for us, by 9 o'clock, nonetheless later, depending on when my daughter decides to get her booty in bed, half the time I don't have the energy or the desire to do any painting. So, yep. I mean, Halloween is not going to be any different. And actually, come to think about it, you know, even if I had time on Friday night after, you know, festivities, after trick-or-treating and stuff, the next day is the craft fair. So anything that I would theoretically make that night, I would be worried that it might not be dry enough to take. I mean, I can get away with 24 hours. That's fine. That's not an issue, but it's kind of pushing it. And usually those mornings I'm up very, very early. Typically show starts for vendor setup at 7:30, 7:45. So that's why I'm taking a half a day off of work the previous day to make sure that I've got all my ducks in a row, get all of my gear, my tables, my chair, you know, all of my stuff, you know, all of my tent if I need my tent, which I don't this time, all of my supplies and everything in the car and ready to go, and make sure that, you know, everything is all ready so I can just get up, have a quick bite to eat and jump in the car and go. So, all right, I've got to get my booty moving. I'm gonna leave this one here. Thank you so much, anyone that dropped by, was hanging out with me tonight. I certainly do appreciate it. I'm gonna be straight honest. I don't know when I'm gonna be back. Like I said, I have the show on Saturday, and then usually that's it. Until my December paint along, I honestly may not be making anything else. I may not be recording or streaming anything. It's my downtime. This year doing 3 shows has been a rush. And it's going to get real busy. And this year, I don't know, honestly. And to be frank, I put so much time and so much effort and so much of my heart into recording and editing videos and getting streaming and doing all of this stuff. And I don't know that I'm satisfied with how it's going. And don't take that the wrong way, because I'm not in it for anything but the community and sharing my passion with other people. But, you know, it's that time in my life where I just want to be spending some real good quality time with my family and being able to kind of relax and chill and just not have to worry so much about the recording and streaming side of it. So I think I am really, really, truly going to give myself a break after the show. So I don't know when I'll be back. I don't know if I'm going to record or stream anything in November, and probably nothing until mid-December. But I mean, that's not a promise or a guarantee one way or the other. But again, thank you guys. Thank you everyone that stops by, and thank everyone for your support and your comments, and wish me luck tomorrow. Wish me luck, and I will see you guys back the next time. Happy dotting, everyone. Take care and have a fantastic evening. Bye-bye.